Need to stay warm on a cold night?
The Artifabrian.
Would you like a secret compartment in your armor?
The Artifabrian.
Would you like to literally fly?
Believe it or not, the Artifabrian. Efficient Engineer has a prerequisite of crafting 1, and you get to become Perrin from the Wheel of Time. Almost. Seriously, though.
The Artifabrian version of Perrin.
Well, not even.
Hello, Airsick Lowlanders. Welcome back to the Cosmere Quest. I'm Sheridan.
I'm Nath. This is Rock.
And today you're going to want to ready your span read and prep your scribe because we are blueprinting the Artifabrian. You may want to take some notes. The Artifabrian is a specialty within the Scholar Heroic Path. Now, if this is the first path that you've gone down, you are going to get your starting skill. We know that is a +1 in lore. You also get the Scholar's key talent, which is...
Erudition. Erudition, as we know, gives you a cultural or a utility expertise of your choice, as well as 2 cognitive skills. All of those can be changed by spending time at a library during a long rest.
Thematic, you're a scholar.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff.
So, who do you think of when you think an Artifabrian?
Obviously Navani.
Raboniel.
Or an artificer from D&D.
Jace.
Doc Brown.
Willy Wonka.
Q.
Da Vinci.
Lucius Fox.
Professor Farnsworth.
MacGyver.
Shuri.
Donatello.
Pickle Rick.
So the lovely folks over at Brotherwise Games have given us an example build, as always, this time for the Artificer.
Artifabrian.
This time for the Artifabrian, they've given us the Vritzel Engineer.
Yeah, so the Vritzel Guild are some of the most accomplished Artifabrians on Roshar. Think our long-eyebrowed Thalen friends. They are excellent Artifabrians. So for the suggested build, it starts off, we know, with character creation. You get 2 cultural expertises. They suggest 1 in Thalanar or Thalen culture and any other culture that you'd like. Doesn't impact your stats. Human ancestry is what they suggest you go. We know with your human ancestry, you get to spec an extra free talent into your talent tree. They suggest go into prized acquisition, which we'll touch on in a second. Your attributes. They do suggest you prioritize speed and intellect. We'll get into those in a sec. And your skills. So if you're building this from scratch, we know if this is your starting path, you're going to get a +1 in lore because of your Scholar Heroic Erudition. And for the 4 skills that you get to distribute at character creation, they suggest you go 2 into crafting, 1 into lore, and 1 into either agility or light weaponry, depending on what kind of Artifabrian you want to be. Your erudition key talent gives you, like you said, an expertise. They suggest equipment crafting as your expertise. You're going to quickly learn, like you'd expect, Artifabrians are all about crafting. And the bonus skills that you get with your erudition talent, they suggest 1 into crafting and 1 into lore, as well as your academic starting kit. So that is the book suggested build on a Vritzel Engineer.
This is a good suggested build, although I wouldn't say it's a good example build for every Artifabrian. They mentioned going prized acquisition at the start. One side of the tree is all about having a really strong, unique Fabrial. And I'd say if you are going down that side of the tree, having speed and light weaponry can work. You can get into battle. The other side of the talent tree, however, is more just about general crafting. And I would say speed and light weaponry probably isn't as relevant. But overall, pretty cool build. I like it.
Prized acquisition. This one for me is the foundation or the cornerstone of what makes an Artifabrian.
At least if you want to make Fabrials, yeah.
Yeah, so this talent is kind of insane. Basically, it says that through good fortune or hard work, you've gained a specialty cut quality gemstone that's going to allow you to start crafting Fabrials, right? The big call out on this talent is that it gives you a specialist expertise in Fabrial crafting. Specialist expertises do not come around like willy-nilly in this game, all right? Not every Joe Blow off the street of Roshar is going to be able to just start making Fabrials. So it gives you a specialist expertise that is a big deal for this talent. And like we said, essentially it's going to give you a specialty cut quality gemstone that you can use and then reuse to craft your Fabrials. It is your special little
lucky
item.
Gem.
You're never going to want to part with it. It actually specifically says that you can't sell or trade this gem. It is your prized acquisition. It also says the first time that you use this gem to craft your first Fabrial, You get to ignore the time requirements for attracting a spren and the time requirements for actually creating the fabrial, but you still need the raw materials. That is really it for prized acquisition. You get to just start making fabrials.
Yeah, I guess a reminder, specialist expertise is not something that you can choose based off your intellect. You can normally choose any other type of expertise except for a specialist expertise. It's got to come from the GM or from a talent like this.
I think you can get them from rewards as well, but they don't come around often.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Next up, we have inventive design. This is where your character is so used to using their lucky gem, their special gemstone that they've got from prized acquisition, that when you craft a fabrial for prized acquisition, you can choose an effect from a tier higher than you currently are. So a tier would be levels 1 to 5, and then tier 2 would be levels 6 through to 10. This means that at level 3, when you get this talent, or if you choose to go into it that fast, you can choose straight away from the higher tier options. This more than doubles the choices that you have for your fabrials and gives you access to things like creating a pain reel. Maybe you want a numbing pain reel that you give to the tank of your party so he takes less damage. That's something that you could then make, which is really cool. It has a prerequisite of crafting 2, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward talent.
Yeah, I love this one. Inventive design, the way that I take this is basically that you can craft fabrials, but now you get to just craft cooler fabrials.
Absolutely.
Overcharge. This talent gives me mad scientist vibes. This basically says that you are tinkering hard with your fabrials. You push them to their limits, so they're either going to be like brilliant or bonkers. That's basically what this talent is. It has a +3 in crafting as your prerequisite, so you are a great Artifabrian. And essentially it says once per turn, when you make an attack test with your fabrial, you can raise the stakes. Again, this is one of my favorite parts of the game, is the opportunity die. So you can spend an opportunity, if you get one, to use the strike action with your fabrial as a free action on the same turn without it being offhand. Fairly strong. If you get a... what is it? A conflict? Complication. I always get it wrong. Then your GM can spend that complication to add 1 new drawback to your fabrial. They make it spontaneously combust. I don't know.
Okay, not a real drawback. It could be something like giving you disadvantage on attack rolls or reducing the amount of charges that the fabrial has. But you can make a crafting check, a crafting test, even during combat for 2 actions. It's a DC 15 crafting test, which lets you remove that problem that they've given you. It will not spontaneously combust.
I think Overcharge is very fun.
Okay, now we're looking at the left-hand side of the talent tree, this time with Efficient Engineer. Efficient Engineer has a prerequisite of crafting 1, and you get to become Perrin from the Wheel of Time. Almost, seriously though.
The Artifabrian version.
Well, not even. This is a great talent to dip into for anyone that just wants to craft things in this game. This is probably where you would start if you're not interested in really going hard into the Artifabrian tree, but you want to be able to make your own things. So first of all, when you acquire this talent, you get a utility expertise either in armor crafting, equipment crafting, or weapon crafting, so one of the 3. And then you also, on top of that, gain a free fabrial from the start. So this could be a pain reel that lets you hurt someone, a pain reel that is going to numb pain for you, or the third option is a pair of span reeds and an emotion bracelet, so you can smell emotions just like Perrin.
Yeah, I think I love this one. It's super Perrin. Weapon craft your own weapons, smell emotion.
That's right.
Also with the Efficient Engineer, whenever you attempt to craft any item or invent a fabrial, you get to increase your opportunity range or opportunity test range by 2. So essentially, if you're rolling a d20 to do a crafting test, if you roll an actual d20, then you're going to get an opportunity on that crafting test, which gives you extra benefits. It essentially means that range is increased. So if you roll an 18, 19, or 20, you're going to get the opportunity benefits. And also you get to halve the cost of your raw materials. You're a really good crafter, regardless of if it's fabrials or generic crafting.
Yeah, solid talent.
Deep study. Think Navani when she's at her workbench, still trying to make her fabrials, but she's just like stacked full of books and notes. She's deep in her scholar mindset, just trying to like get everything down on paper. Deep study leans hard into the scholar part of Artifabrian. This one is always active. It doesn't have any other prerequisites. And basically it gives you 1 additional cultural or utility expertise, and you get 2 additional points to stack into your cognitive skills. Again, you can reassign all of these at a long rest if you happen to be at a library.
Yeah, this literally doubles your erudition key talent. What's not to love? Next up, we have the fine handiwork talent. This has no prerequisites, and this is when you are obsessed with the quality of your work.
You are a master crafter.
Yeah, so normally when you craft an item in the Cosmere RPG, you make a crafting test, and that determines how many drawbacks or how many upgrades the item has that we're making. And usually you can spend 2 upgrades to give your item an advanced feature. This talent, relatively simple, it allows you to only have to spend 1 upgrade to get an advanced feature, meaning that you could have a secret compartment in your armor, or you could have a weapon that's perfectly balanced.
Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
For only 1 upgrade.
No notes. Experimental tinkering. That's our next talent. This one, again, requires no other prerequisites other than the talents before it in the talent tree. This brings to mind for me Tony Stark. Forever tinkering in their downtime. Whenever they're not doing something super important, like potentially being in a battle, you're going to be iterating and making your items or your fabrials better in some way or another. With this talent, whenever you craft an item or invent a fabrial, your opportunity range increases again by 1. And your crafting time is halved. You're just a better all-round crafter. And I think the big one for this one is that you can forfeit your long rest benefits to tinker on your fabrial, the one that's using your prized acquisition gem. And you can essentially recraft it into a different fabrial so long as it's the same tier. You're not going to need your raw materials. You get to ignore your time requirements. And if you happen to fail on the test that it takes to attract a spren for your new fabrial, then you just get to retain your old fabrial. So you're just constantly tinkering and trying to make your fabrials or your items better.
Yeah, a couple of notes on this one. I'd say the efficient engineer talent previously already expanded the opportunity range. This stacks, so now it's going to be further expanded. It's also worth noting that this is the first talent on the left-hand side of the tree that relies on prized acquisition. So this is really for people that are digging deep into the Artifabrian tree. But hey, it's a great talent if you do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, the final talent on the tree, Overwhelm with Detail. This has a prerequisite of a Law 3, the only talent in this entire tree that has a prerequisite of Law, which I think is fitting for this one. I'm not going to set the scene at all. I'm going to read the words from the book because I think they're really good for this one. It says, when speaking about a topic you're passionate about, you do so with unsurpassed authority and at unmatched length. The uninitiated can rarely withstand such a torrent of information without becoming lost amid the data. I think that's great and very fitting. This allows you to spend 2 focus to make a cognitive or spiritual test using your law skill modifier in place of whatever other skill would be done normally.
Yeah, this one, I love the description in the talent. This one, unlike the rest of the talent tree, gives me Yasna vibes 100%.
Yeah, normally I'm thinking Nirvani through here, but this one is Yasna, I'll give you that.
Okay, deactivate your span read, give your scribe a much needed break. That is the Artifabrian. I think that I need a copper mind to store all that info. What would be your takeaway?
And my takeaway is that I want to play the Artifabrian. I think it's a really cool specialty. I could see me multi-pathing with this one. I'd like to imagine a warrior maybe charging into battle with a fabrial in hand or enhanced armor or whatever it might be. I think there's some really cool options there. But hey, if you want to dive deep into the talent tree, there's a lot to offer as well. What about you?
Yeah, I am going to be a bit of a Debbie Downer.
Really?
I know that Artifabrian is your thing. It's very much down your alley. For me, I like characters who are going to be easy to pick up and play without much homework at all. So for me, the Artifabrian, especially if you go down the fabrial crafting path of the tree. It unlocks an entire section of the book that you're going to have to get to know. You're going to have to understand crafting. You're going to have to understand everything about fabrials and what you can and can't do and what would make something cool or not cool. Drawbacks, upgrades, advanced fabrial benefits. There is a ton of information about crafting and fabrials in the book. It is really cool and very helpful, but it does require homework. And I'm not super into homework. So I don't actually think that this specialty is going to be for everybody, but I think the people who will want to do an Artifabrian will love being an Artifabrian.
Do not listen to her, guys. It is totally worth it. There's a lot of cool stuff here, and it's not that complicated. You make it sound like it's really hard. It's not that hard.
You want to be a scholar if you want to go down the Artifabrian path. In real life, you need to be a real life scholar.
But hey, that's the Artifabrian.
That's the Artifabrian. If you have gotten any kind of benefit out of this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you see all the upcoming videos on all the other heroic paths and their specialties. As always, get in the comments if you like or disagree or have any feedback for us. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.